Welcome back to Mountain Connections. We are very excited to have Recruiter Guy Bill Humbert here in studio on the couch. He always stops by and gives us excellent advice, whether you are an employee, employer, or looking for a job. Bill is your man. He's also author of a couple of books. This is one of his most recent books. Thanks, Bill, for joining us today.
Thank you, Christine. It's so fun to be here.
We always enjoy talking with you. You give us great insights on this industry. And today you're talking about how talent attraction is better than talent acquisition.
That's correct. Yep. So, you know, when you think about companies and you look in the industry, it's all about talent acquisition. And talent acquisition puts roadblocks in the way of acquiring candidates. What you should be interested in and be doing is talent attraction, where you're drawing top talent to you.
And how does an employer go about doing that?
Well, first of all, it's your culture. And cultures are hard to change, but if you have a culture that is attractive to people, then they're going to come to you. You know, for instance, if you in your culture decide that we're going to really focus on equal pay for equal work, so women's pay gets raised up to the same that men's pay is, do you think that word will get out? It will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And do you think the top women are going to be interested in coming to work for your company for that 10 to 15% raise just to get there? Absolutely. So talent attraction is a cultural thing. It's working with your managers and training them better to how better manage their people. And then I like to think goal setting probably is very important in there too.
And as a future potential employee, you want to make sure you're looking at companies that have these talent acquisition philosophies.
Talent attraction philosophies.
So how do you go about doing that? You want attraction, not acquisition.
That's correct. So the way to tell if the company is a talent acquisition company, and most are, is look at their website and then click on jobs. And then you find one of the jobs and you click on apply. Well, if they force a professional to complete an application prior to submitting a resume, that's a talent acquisition company. Why force somebody to complete an application when there's been no conversation?
Interesting. I feel like that's a pretty common practice, though.
Oh, it is. Absolutely. That's the talent acquisition side of the world. And why do you need to take up all that memory in your computer? I mean, I know memory is cheap, but why take up all that memory and all that private information if you're not going to interview the person?
And the time, as someone who's applying for a job, it takes a lot of time to gather all of this information that isn't even going to be utilized likely.
Right. That's called the black hole. The candidates that I write to in my books, I tell them to network in, because 74 to 76% of all jobs are networking. And so what happens in a lot of companies, they force you to apply online. So you network with somebody that you know, and then you say, that person will say to you, our process is to apply online. And so then they apply online, and then that person pulls the resume out of the applicant tracking system and hands it to the hiring manager and say, you know what, Christine's the person I need to hire. That's how it gets done. The companies think it's talent acquisition and it's working, but it's the sublayer is what is working sometimes.
So you really want to present yourself when you're applying for a job or looking for a job as a valuable commodity. You're not going to waste your time. You're not going to waste their time. But at the same time, you are a talented individual and you want them to be attracted to your talent. So how do you go about, you mentioned not filling out an application ahead of time. How do you go about deciphering which companies truly want you for who you are?
It's easy, actually. And that is, you network your way in. Now you've got a sponsor inside the company. And then that person is the one that says, well, I think you need to speak with so-and-so. So, let's pick High West Distillery. And let's say I was talking to you and I said, you know, I really am trying to get into High West Distillery. And let's say you know the top people over there. You said, well, you know, you should talk to Mary or Steve. And tell you what, I'll give them a call and introduce you, and then you can call them. Now they're expecting the call. I call them. You've told them, you know what? Bill's really good at what he does.
There you go.
You're in.
You're in.
You're in. And they don't have to interview 18 people.
What about if you're that employee, you just want to get your foot in the door and you can't really be very picky about what type of company? Is that a dangerous thing to do?
It is. You know, it's better to go to work for good companies because good companies on your resume look good, right? And so if a company is known for picking top talent, chances are that's the kind of company you want to go to work for. And the companies that put all of the barricades in the way of the top talent, here's what happens. They may be interested in your company, and they pull up the website, and they're going, wow, yeah, that's good. And then as soon as they see that application, they're out of there because they know that's a black hole. In large companies, generally, not all, but you know, because you make a generalization, that's bad. But generally, what happens? The most junior person in human resources is the person retrieving the resumes. How's that going to work? They don't know that business development is also sales. So the top talent know that. They know that unless I network my way in, I'm not going to get in because nobody, I won't even get a call.
So it's important to be picky and to think about your priorities to really protect yourself and your future, whether it's at that company or your future companies. You have a lot of great advice. I always learn many things, and you have a brand new website, which we want to show.
Yay! I'm so excited about my new website. There it is. Woo! And so one of the things you'll see on my website is I focus on talent attraction. And I help my clients become talent attraction companies as opposed to talent acquisition companies. And there's sections in there for my speaking business, my author business. For people who are looking for work, I even have the openings that I'm working on at any given time. And they did an absolutely wonderful job. That's Jambo John out of Salt Lake.
It's really an excellent website.
Thank you.
You really did an incredible job. It really highlights everything you offer and what you've offered people that you speak with or motivate, and also your books. So one more time, shout out to that website and where we can get more information about you, Bill.
It's www.recruiterguy.com. Say hi to Zoe.
And you want to mention to say hi to someone very special.
I have a very special visitor in town. Hi, Zoe. She's my granddaughter.
We are happy that Zoe is watching. Yes, hello to Zoe, and thanks so much, Bill, for being here today, sharing your talent and your tips about how to find a great job, be a great employer, a great employee. So thank you.
Thank you, Christine.
All right, find out more about Bill Humbert. Check out his brand new website, Recruiter Guy, and this is one of his wonderful books, Employee 5.0, and he has more available. So thanks again to Bill for being here, and hi to Zoe. We'll be right back with more on Mountain Connections.